Tashi Delek, everybody. Welcome on this beautiful day to meditate. Can you think of anything better to do on a day like today than to come in here and meditate? So I'm Kat Hedrick, one of the volunteers here at the center. I want to welcome all of you here. Just curious, don't be shy. Who's here for the first time? Raise your hand. Look around. You'll see you're not alone. There's usually lots of people. See all the people who didn't raise their hand? Ask them questions afterwards, okay? No, but seriously, if you see someone with a name tag, ask us questions and we will do our best to answer them or find you an answer. But before we get started today, we do have a couple of announcements, so please bear with me. Most importantly, if you haven't already silenced your cell phones, please do so at this time and put your phones away so you can be fully present for the talk and the meditation. If you must use your phone, please do so outside the meditation hall. We would like to invite you to join us for our weekly Tuesday events with Medicine Buddha practice at 6 o'clock and our public talk at 7 p.m. This week, for our Tuesday evening talk, Geshe Phende will speak on the 37 Practices of a Bodhisattva, Part 4. Wednesday evenings at 7 p.m., the Drepung Loseling monks conduct evening prayers for His Holiness the Dalai Lama's long life and other teachers. On Thursdays at 4:30 p.m., the Loseling monks conduct the Protector Puja for smooth journeys, success of interviews, and medical treatments, new businesses, etc. Our popular 5-class foundation series continues March 14th with Vipassana meditation, cultivating personal insight into our inner world of thoughts, reactions, and emotions. This one-day retreat is via Zoom only, and it focuses on Vipassana, which means special insight, meditation for gaining insights into one's bodies, sensations, mind, and mental processes through the application of skillful mindfulness. This series is a prerequisite for the intermediate series and other retreats. This Wednesday, special event, this Wednesday, February 18th at 9 a.m., we will celebrate Losar, the Tibetan New Year. It's a lunar New Year. And the venerable monks will lead a traditional puja with chanting of auspicious prayers and offer traditional Losar servings of sweet rice and tea. For this and all the events, including on Sunday meditations, please remember, do not park on the grass outside the meditation hall or in the driveway attached to the school. If you need overflow parking, please go on Skyline Drive and park in the John Lewis Elementary School parking lot outside of their normal operating hours, and then you can walk through on that driveway. So please help us get it not blocked. All information on these events can be found in the lobby and on our website at drepung.org. And if anyone is interested in volunteer opportunities to get more involved in supporting our center and programs, please see me or our volunteer coordinator, Michael DeFell. And if you're interested in becoming a member to support our ongoing programs and take advantage of benefits like discounts on courses, retreats, applications are available in the library. You can always register online. Please consider becoming a member like me and many other people here. Last but, couple more things, but there is a donation box near the entrance of this room. Your generous support helps us to continue to offer programs and services like this to our Atlanta community and to those around the world through our online platforms. Now, as is our custom, please stand as we invite our teacher, Geshe Phende, to come in for today's practice.
So today we'll meditate on self-compassion. So last Sunday, we did the basic mindfulness meditation. So today, self-compassion. Mentioned last time, one of the purpose of those meditation is to change our mind from negative to positive. This is the one of the purpose. So the reason is, as long as when your minds remain less destructive emotions, it not only helps to keep one's mind calm and peace, but it also change your behavior or your day-to-day thinking, your relationships, your friendships, everything's change into more positive. So that not only create peace, happy to oneself, it also brings harmony, peace within the family, within the society. So because of those reasons, we try to learn the meditation and we try to meditate oneself. It's because of that. So therefore, it's not only, I'm very stressed, I'm depressed, and I meditate. Not only that purpose. This is also, of course, is a benefit. But this is a very small purpose. Just reduce stress and depressions and anxiety like that. You can think much bigger way. So when you have much bigger purpose, then the small purpose can come easily. You don't need to put effort. It comes naturally. So that is why it is important before we meditate. We need to understand, purpose of doing this meditation is to change my mind from negative to positive. So today, self-compassion now. The second meditation, the self-compassion. In general, self-compassion, there are many different aspects, when they interpret self-compassion maybe different way. But here, what I mean, self-compassion, right? That's important to know. When we meditate, we have to think that way. But first important part is self-compassion and selfish mind, or what you call self-centered, are huge differences. According to Buddhist psychologists, self-centered, selfish mind is negative mind. The reason why it's called negative, because this self-centered, selfish mind, what they're going to do, it hurts you. It creates problem, suffering toward oneself, towards others. That is why it's negative. So self-compassion is the positive. Another word is self-compassion is taking care of oneself with valid reason, with understanding real true sufferings. Self-centered, selfish mind taking care of oneself based on ignorance. So that's why instead of benefit to oneself, it hurts you. It creates a problem. So that's why it is very important to distinguish between self-centered and self-compassion. For instance, most of our fears, worries, or stress, anxiety, those problems creates by self-centered attitude, selfish mind. Because selfish mind, the self-centered, is very narrow-minded. It's very small. It's just thinking about only one person among 8 billion humans living in this planet. Somehow, in this mind, only care to just one person. So it's very small and very narrow-minded. Because of the person who live with these kind of attitudes, it creates your mind very small, very weak. Remain with a small, weak mind. Any little problem when you encounter, it easily creates you fear, worry, stress, because the mind itself is too small. It cannot able to handle it. Even small problem is huge affected there. So that is why self-centered attitude is the one of the causes of these mental pains today we have. Not only that, this self-centered can also create us anger, attachments, greed, arrogance, jealousy, the many distracted emotions, we call them mental afflictions, right? It created by self-centered. That is why it is not good. It's not benefit to you. It's creating many problems. But to get rid of your self-centered, that doesn't mean don't care about oneself. You should ignore yourself. That doesn't mean that. That's why it's called self-compassion. Of course, you need to take care of yourself. But taking care of oneself with what you call valid reason, not based on ignorance, like a self-centered. Every being who wants to live happy in peace, right? Whatever their lifestyle they choose for happiness, no doubt. But the majority human being, we suffer, right? In society, we have our problems. As a family, each of the members has issues, problems. Individual life, problems. But the most of these problems today we're experiencing, is created by ourselves, right? In this world, how much problem we have, right? This problem is not come from different planet, not brings by aliens or something, right? It's the human being who live in this planet. We create it. We are the one who create these problems. As a family dramas, it's not created by your neighbors or somebody else. The family member themselves created. And nobody want that problems, right? When the first you decided to share your life with somebody else, it's for happiness. Of course, it's not for drama, right? Nobody do that. But you ended up with too much drama there, too much problems there around the family members. It's coming from themselves. So what's the wrong? Because of self-centered attitude. It's very involved there. Most of our decision, our actions coming out of that self-centered. So that's why it's ruining one's life, it ruins others' life. That is where we need to get rid of this self-centered. But that doesn't mean you ignore yourself, right? We need to take care. That's why we adopt self-compassion. So we need to switch. Instead of self-centered, selfish mind, right? We need to take care of oneself with evidence, what you call the valid reason. So we need to adopt self-compassion. switch from self-centered to self-compassion through meditation. That's the only way. Just we can pray, right? We can ask to wherever you have faith, God or Buddha, whoever. We can pray them, we can request them to please switch my self-centered to self-compassion. How much we recite the prayers and requests, I don't think it will be changed, because it's in your hand. You need to change. Nobody will change for you, right? You put it your textbook here and all this equipments there, but yourself not study them, you will not going to learn any of this. Doesn't matter how many times you pray, right? If you don't study, you will not going to learn anything. You will not becoming educated person, right? It's your hand. If you want to know, you need to study, right? If you don't study, you will not knowing that. Then if you don't know, you make lots of mistake, right? Not knowing or completely misunderstanding. Those mind Buddhist psychologists call ignorance is the causes of problem, sufferings, right? So therefore, in order to change that ignorance, not knowing, you need to be study, right? It's somebody's hand, it's in your hand. Exactly the same that. In order to switch your selfish into self-compassion, you need to do that. So how should we do? Right? This is part of the mind. It's kind of inner quality. It's not about external material things. External material, you can take it out there, you can take it out, you can change that. Like we can transplant our livers and hearts and kidneys, right? You can do that by doctors or somebody. But the mental things, it's very difficult. It's only through meditation, mental exercise. That's called the meditation, right? So meditate, which means be familiarized. So if you familiarize on self-compassion, that will help, right, to reduce your self-centered, right? That will help. So that is why we're meditating on self-compassion. So slowly, when you really experience self-compassion, when you really achieved it, and what they're going to do, this self-compassion mind helps you to change many your problem, helps to change that. That's why it leads your life much better, much peaceful, much happier life. So when you goes into that path, and not only makes yourself happy, the people who lives with you, they can also benefit. When you live with a person who's always loving, right? Very loving, very compassionate, very kind person. If you share your life with that person, you also benefit. It makes your life is much more happier, right? Similarly, when you try to live with that kind of person, it can also benefit the family members who lives with you. And that benefit is not just temporary benefit. It's deeper level of the joy, the pleasure. You can effect it that to them. Specific as a parents, sometime we thinking makes my child happy, means buy something fancy toys, give them, my child is enjoying, right? That's the many people's too. Sometimes you look at your children have too much toys. Their bedroom is full of toys. They cannot play, right? There's too much around there. So kind of parents' intention is to make your children happy children, right? But these kind of things are just give them for temporary, right? Then after next day, same problems. But your day-to-day, your life, living with compassion, living with the love, your behave, your actions, every movement on your bodies, where they come out from love and compassion, that kind of joy, what you call the environment's happiness is sink into the child's very different level of peace and happiness, from deeper level of happiness, not the surface. It's a very differences. So children can learn the inner qualities from their parents, right? Brain, they can feed when they go to the school. You pay so much money there to feed their brain. But sometimes the brain can become quite rich, but sometimes heart is still very dry. A very rich brain, right? Good education. Too much, heart is too dry. Never feed the heart. So too dry heart, what they're going to do? Whatever their talent, their education they have, who make their decision? Where they're going to use? Heart make decision. Use the right or the wrong place to use its heart. When the heart is not good, too dry, it may use negative way. Their talent, their power, their education, when they use to the negative way, it can harm much worse, because they know how to harm them. They're very good educated. They know how to do. They can hurt so badly, right? Same time, we need to feed heart. We need to take care heart. So that where they learn, those children, where they can learn to feed their heart, warm heartedness. Not that much place to learn there, right? So that parents' responsibility. They feed their hearts. In order to feed them, they themselves first to remain warm, good heart. Stay with warm heartedness. Action, any action they act with warm heartedness. When they act it, that environment, the children who grow up with that kind of environment, these children also, learn that warm heartedness even from very young age. Every time they're looking from their parents' behave, they're learning from them. They're hearing, they're seeing everything from their families. So when they grow up with this kind of environment, their children's warm heartedness with a good brain, they can benefit to this whole universe. They can able to serve them, becoming not only very happy person, also it's becoming source of happiness in this world, right? They can bring that happiness. So that's why we need to learn this, warm-heartedness. So first, to build that warm-heartedness, first, self-compassion. So first, take care of oneself, right? Then through the experiencing on self-compassion, compassion to others. It really makes sense, right? That's why self-compassion is also causes of compassion to others. love to others. So it is huge benefit. Now the next, what is the self-compassion, right? What does that really mean? How should we meditate on self-compassion? So first simple thing is, as a human beings, we're always seeking happy life, peaceful life. We always has concern, worry about sufferings, right? We don't want suffering. So that kind of desire we have innately, naturally, without influence by anybody, without influence by family, by religion, by anything. Just by birth, we have wish to live happy in peace. We do not want sufferings. Based on that wish, what is our responsibility? Our responsibility is to live happy, to overcome suffering. So in order to overcome suffering, where is the suffering? Where is the happiness? Happiness, where should we build? Where we need to focus happiness, which means no doubt every being, every human being who wants to live happy, no doubt. Everybody who doing for happiness, of course, right? Morning till you wake up to go to the bed. We're doing so many things. We rush our life. It's all about, of course, for happiness, right? So I always remember, morning you wake up and you look into the highway, thousands of cars running down, thousands of cars running up there. It's constantly like a river flowing, right? And you're thinking about each individual who driving in this car, rush, rush, rush. What's for what? It's simple for happiness, right? For overcome suffering. But the majority of people think happiness, they always have dream, happiness which means to have nice car, to have fancy house, right? To have this or that, money or power. So we thinking happiness is some kind of material. So if I have money, if I have this, that means we think, then makes my life is happy, successful. That's the majority people think. That's why everybody put effort our life for sake of material gain. Then now you look it into reality world. If this is the case, then all the rich people, right? All the, what you call famous people, celebrity, right? Celebrity or something? Celebrity. Or all the powerful people should be one of the happiest, right, in this planet, because they have all of those material. But unfortunately, it is not. There are a number of celebrities, number of rich people have issues, problems. That's why they need to take drugs, alcohol. Some of them ended up with alcoholism. Some of them ended up with drugs addiction, right? So drinking alcohol, taking drugs doesn't mean all of those people are very poor. Number of them are very rich. Number of them are very smart. Number of them are very famous. They're taking this. Then you should caution. Why they take these drugs? Do they know these drugs will hurt your brain? It will hurt your health, right? Alcohol, these chemicals. Do these people know? Yes, they know these things. Sometimes they may much better knowing than us. I actually do not know how much is hurt. I know there's something hurts, right? But they may be much better than they know. We know. But they're still taking that, right? Why are they doing? It's showing deep of their heart there's some kind of pain, suffering they have. They cannot hide them. They cannot overcome these sufferings. Doesn't matter, I have pain. Today I can put one of the more expensive, maybe what you call diamond, right? I can wear. It's not going to change my fear, worry. It's still there. Even I wear very fancy dress, even I sit in the very fancy house or car, doesn't mean that my mental pain is gone, right? It's very difficult. So in order to get rid of them, that's why they take these drugs or whatever this alcohol. And these are, of course, it's just temporary because it just makes your mind crazy, right? Now remember and think, I don't have pain now. It's temporary. It's getting worse and worse. Eventually you become alcoholism, drugs addiction. Now your problems multiply, getting worse now. Instead of solving the problem, getting worse, right? That's how it is. So that's showing materialistics alone is not enough. So therefore now when they research deeper level, the pain is mental pain. It's not physical. It's the mental pains. That's much worse than physical. The pain which we have, stress, depressions, fear, worry, loneliness, anxiety. So there are so many mental pains, right? Sufferings. So many. These mental sufferings, external how much rich doesn't matter. It can come. So these pains come from where? Why I have so much fear? Why I have so much worries, right? When you look it down there, of course, external conditions, maybe my business, maybe my families, maybe this or that, right? They have certain things, but these are just as the conditions. But the root cause, what is the root causes of them? Right? Today, I go to the job, office, my boss shouting to all the employees, right? He shouted, there are 20 employees, shouted to all of us because the business not doing well. When they shouted, after, you have so much pain, you are not happy. When you come back in the home, you're still not happy. You're constantly thinking. Go to the bed, you cannot sleep well. It's constantly coming there. So now you think, who created that pain? Is the boss is the only one? If the boss is the only one causes of your pain, then all the 20 employees should feel exactly the same mental pains. But it is not. Some of them have light. Some of them is very heavy. Some of them after a few minutes, no problem. It's gone. Some of them even go sleeping, still pain there. Right? Variety types of the pain. It's showing it's not only the boss external. It's showing something internal causes. There are. These are the one who created. Who are that? Right? What is that causes? Anger, hatreds, there. Right? That one part of emotion called anger, hatreds. Very heavy anger, very heavy pains. Light anger, light pains. When the boss shouted, you feel little angry to the boss, little pain. You feel so much angry to your boss. It's very deep pain. You never feel any angry to this guy. You understanding? Who's worried about his business? I understand. When I put my feet into his shoes, I can do that same way. So I don't feel any anger to my boss. No problem. Right? That's external conditions the same, but the internal causes is difference. One person not feel any angry, no pain. One person feels so much bad angry, so much pain. That's how it's showing. Your destructive emotions, right, are the one who hurting you, harming you, constantly creating those inner pains. Then upon there, we have attachment, greed, arrogance, jealousy, right? All kind of destructive emotions which we have. Number of us, we don't know that much about our emotions. But there are so many variety types of emotion, destructive emotions. Each of these destructive emotions create each different level of pain, disturbing our mind. So that's showing us the root causes of those pain is coming from one's own destructive emotions, mental afflictions. So that's the one of the fundamental causes, right? Then not only pain that, these destructive emotions also change your behavior, right? Your actions. When you feel angry, you act violent. Physical, your speech, everything turn into negative. So when you act negative, violent, what's they going to do? That action destroying your dignities, your values, your relationships, right? Your reputations, everything will destroy by these wrong actions, those violent behaves. Those actions create suffering within your families, societies, right? So you work so hard for happiness. What you got it? Suffering. Why? Because of your negative actions. You come back to the home, you fight to your family, right? Then what's going to do? All the family members in that night not happy. Where they behave, everything's very uncomfortable. Yourself is not happy, your family is not happy. And they come from where? This action, negative action. Those negative action come from where? Your negative mind. If you don't feel angry, hatred, something negative, you will not going to shout it. You will not going to show this violent behavior, right? Showing this because it's burning inside there. So everything will destroy. Doesn't matter how much you working, how much makes your money, doesn't matter. Your day-to-day life is always suffer. So you're not going to achievement what your purpose of your life. Number, you can make billion dollar, whatever. It just remain as a number, right? It's a mental number there. But this person, him or herself, day-to-day life all suffer. Then finally, death. You have to leave. Somebody will enjoy your money. You gone, your whole life is suffer, gone, somebody will enjoy. So that kind of behavior, what they're going to say, usually we say stupid, right? It's not smart guy. So that problem is lack of self-compassion, right? So self-compassion, which means through that understanding, in order to live happy peace, I really need to change my destructive emotion. These are the main causes of problem. These are the main, my enemy, who will destroy everything. My happiness, everything destroyed by my mental affliction. So therefore, I need to change them, reduce them. I need to eliminate them, right? So in order to change them, I have to have desire, wish to get rid of them. If you do not have wish to change, your destructive emotions themselves never change, right? So that's why you need to build, cultivate wish to free from all your mental afflictions. You're always holding this emotion. Wish to change all your bad behavior and habits you used to do. That kind of desire, that kind of wish called self-compassion. Now you got it, right? What's meant by self-compassion? So that wish, not easy. So we meditate to try to build it, to cultivate that wish. It's a very simple. We are not judging to other people. We're just looking to myself because I am capable to change my mental afflictions, right? I can able to do that. I have a power to change my mental affliction. I cannot take out others' anger, right? I can advise them, tell them, but that's their decision. What I can do, I can change my mental affliction. I can change my bad behavior, habits. So therefore, through my understanding, right, on all of this important message, now I learn it. Therefore, I really wish to change all my mental affliction, my actions. That wish, when you really feel it from your heart, not just thinking. First you need to think. First you need to hear, right? You think, you analyze all this, because of that, that called analytical meditation. You're analyzing. When I'm talking here, taking time, 30 minutes, it is part of analytical meditation. Your mind is analyzing. Through that, when you feel it, oh, now I know that really I need to wish to change them, right? That's called stabilization meditation. Single pointedness means you remain on one pointed minded. Just wish to change your mental afflictions, your negative behavior. That wish, when you really feel, you just hold it, remain on that. That's called self-compassion, right? So now we're going to start the self-compassion meditation. So during this meditation, make sure, your meditation is not just remain on thinking level, what you call academic. You really put your effort to feel from your heart, I really wish to change them. So not look to other people. When I say anger, you say, oh yes, my boss is very angry. If you think that way, then you are not qualified to meditate self-compassion. Right? It's not benefit to you. It's all about you. Just look yourself. I have anger. I really need to change. I have jealousy. I really need to change. That's how you should put it. Okay, we'll start now. So keep your physical posture, meditation posture. Among the 7 physical posture, most important is keeping your spine. Backbone should be very straight. Rest of your body remain very comfortable, very relaxed. When you hear the sound of the singing ball, at that moment, your mind is fully concentrated on the sound of the singing ball. After sound completely disappeared, then just few seconds keep your mind like a space, not engaged to any external object for a few seconds. Then I will going to guide the meditation. For a few seconds, keep your mind like a space, not engaged to any external objects. Then slowly focus on your breath. When you inhale, you should be aware you are inhaling. Same when you exhale. Keep your mind on present moment of your breath. Inhaling with the mindful, exhaling with the mindful. Slowly, when your mind is calmed down, now you should look in your own mind and recognize if you have depressions, any type of stress or anxiety, fears, worries, loneliness, and any mental pains and suffering you have right now, recognize them. Some type of mental pains may be very heavy, very deep, been a very long time. Some type of mental pains may be temporary, comes and goes. But it is important to recognize them. Don't hide them, don't ignore. Show your face and recognize any mental pains and sufferings you have. So all of those mental pains and suffering, where they're coming from, why you've been experiencing these mental pains, just question to oneself. Of course, external conditions I mentioned earlier, your business, your family members, or anything. But these are just as the conditions. But the root causes is within your mind, which are your anger. So recognize how heavy anger and hatreds you have. You've been using that emotions, and you've been holding this emotion. And it's not just only one, there's so many. Anger, hatred, resentment. Then attachments, You have so many types of attachments. Attachment to one's own reputation, fame, families, money, possessions, power, so all kind of attachments. Greed, then arrogance. When you become little success to any field, experience that arrogance. Then jealousy. Quite often we jealous some others when they success. Self-centered, selfish minds. So through that, all these destructive emotions, there are so many. Because of these destructive emotions, it's not only create those mental pain you have, it's also create your bad behaves. How often you using harsh word? How often you sending very bad text message or emails? How often you showing wrathful face, behave to other people? Telling lie, gossiping, slanders, all kind of behaves. Don't look to other people, just look yourself and reflect all those your bad behavior and habits you have. You've been done in the past. You've been doing these kind of behaves. Because of those behavior and actions, how much it destroy your relationships, your friendships, destroy their trust, destroy your dignities, values, your reputations, your friendships. Losing all of this, what you feel loneliness, you feel sad, you feel guilt. And that's why it's creating so much mental pains and suffering for very, very long times. But how bad it is, how heavy suffering you have right now, all of them are changeable. So you don't need to feel hopeless. Make sure you talk to yourself how heavy mental pain you have right now, all of these are changeable. Because the causes of those sufferings are changeable. Your mental afflictions are changeable. Your behaviors and habits are also changeable. So you don't need to feel hopeless. So encouraging oneself, but it's also your responsibility. Take sense of self-responsibility. You have to change. And through that, you should generate a strong desire from deep of your heart. Make sure you really feel it. Wish to change all your mental afflictions, the negative thoughts, the emotions you have right now, holding. Wish to change all of them. And also wish to change all your bad behavior and habits you used to do. through that wish to free from all your mental pains and suffering you have right now. It's called self-compassion. So meditate on self-compassion. Wish to free from all your mental afflictions, your negative actions, behaves, habits, through that all your mental pains and sufferings. Not just think, not just visualize, also feel it from your heart. And when you really feel, when you really experience, just hold that. Remain with self-compassion. Wish to free from all one's mental afflictions, negative actions and habits, and mental sufferings. Wish to free from all mental afflictions, negative actions and behavior and habits, and all the mental sufferings. Wish to change them, wish to reduce them, wish to suppress them, and wish to completely eliminate them. Now you should specific focus on your mental pains you have right now. For instance, if you have stress, fear, worry, whatever you have mental pain in general, or specific certain type of the mental pains you may be experienced quite oftenly, recognize them. And you don't need to feel worry. Instead of that, you should feel really wish to change them. You can able to change this problem. You can able to fix this mental problem by yourself. So you should determine yourself, I will going to change them, reduce them, and finally completely eliminate them. Make sure you should strongly determine by yourself. Out of that strong determination, should visualize the mental pain you have right now, fear, worry, and so forth. Visualize them form of smoke in your heart. In other words, those mental pains are manifest as a form of smoke in your heart. Any mental pains you have, visualize as a form of smoke in your heart. Mental sufferings, also a form of smoke in your heart. Out of strong determination to eliminate them, wish to completely eliminate them. When you exhale, you should release those smokes with your breath. Take a deep breath with wish to get rid of all those pains and release them. Take a deep breath and release them. Let them go. Once again, take a deep breath and release them. Finally, you should visualize all those mental pains and sufferings are completely purified. Now, one of the causes of those suffering is your bad behavior and habits, your negative actions. So recognize all of those negative actions you used to do, and seeing them are the causes of suffering. It's nothing benefit to you and your families and these societies. It hurts you, harms you, destroys you. Through that, you should generate strong determination. I will going to change all my bad behavior and habits, the action I used to do, wish to change them, then wish to reduce them. And finally, strong determination, wish to eliminate completely. Out of that strong determination, all your negative behavior and habits, actions are visualized as a form of smoke in your heart. Then when you exhale, you should release them. Take a deep breath and release them. Take a deep breath and release. Once again, take a deep with strong determination and release them. Finally, you visualize all of those bad behavior and habits are completely purified. Now the main causes of all those problems is all your destructive emotions you have right now. For instance, your anger, hatred, resentment, attachment, greed and arrogance, selfish and so forth. Seeing all of those mental afflictions are the causes of your suffering. These are the poison. These are your enemies. These are the ones who are destroying you, your families. So through that you should generate strong desire, wish to change them, reduce them, suppress them, finally completely eliminate them. These are changeable. These are curable. So you should determine yourself, I will going to eliminate all of this mental affliction I have. General, all of them, specific certain type of mental affliction you may use quite oftenly, specific those, wish to completely eliminate them. Then all your destructive emotions you have right now, certain type of emotion you may using quite oftenly, all of these destructive emotions visualize as a form of smoke in your heart. And make sure from deep of your heart you really determined, wish to completely eliminate them. Out of that wish, take a deep breath and release them. Send it out with your breath. Once again, take a deep breath and release them. Once again, take a deep breath and release them. Finally, you should visualize all of those mental afflictions are completely eliminated, purified. Now you should remain your heart, your minds pure, very clean, and just remain with that pure mind. Without any negative thoughts, emotions, that pure consciousness, you can feel the calmness of your mind, to feel the quiet peace of your mind, and feel the joy and pleasure. Okay, so this is the called self-compassion meditation, which is very useful, and it is really, really important, because the main our goal is we really need to change this destructive emotion. You really need to change if you want to live happy in peace. Try it day by day to change. It is changeable. But if you use this anger and negative emotion, where you use more, it becoming stronger. And remain with longer destructive emotion, longer pain, longer destruction, longer mental problems. So therefore, very important to reduce this destructive emotion. So these very simple self-compassion meditations are quite powerful, right? Quite effective. Maybe first meditate a little bit difficult. You may not able to concentrate, but you can hear, you can follow, one time, two times, three times. Eventually, slowly, you can feel it. And then eventually you can remain that state of the mind. And when you're really able to follow that, definitely your mental afflictions, day by day, it reduces. It's not just one day fix it. It takes times, years and years. But definitely thing is, it's changing slightly from bottom level, it change. So when your destructive emotion is really change, you can see even you have lots of challenge about your physical life, but day-to-day life, you still calm. You still remain peaceful. Even external, there's so much things you need to deal, but it's not that much affect you mentally. If too much destructive emotion there, even external things very good, very luxury life. But the person, day to day, the mental level, no happy. Always fear, always concern, always worry, anxiety, constantly bothers you, cannot sleep well. Middle of the night, you have nightmares. As long as when you morning wake up, panic, pain comes again. So it's all fear, worry, all kind of things for weeks, months, and years. That's a very painful life, right? So therefore, this self-compassion meditation is powerful. Yourself do it and helps to your friends and family who have these problems. They don't need to become a religious person. You don't need to believe Buddha or anybody to do this kind of meditation. Your belief is your own individual privacy, right? That doesn't matter. Non-believer who atheist doesn't matter. Mental affliction, we need to change because these are the one creates your problem. Even you're believing, you are very good follower. I'm not sure good follower means. You're a very serious practitioner or whatever. Every day go to the temple. Doesn't matter if there's too much anger, too much negative emotion. You always suffer. That's very clear. We have to go realistic. Sometimes we go to the too much superstitious belief system. We have to go realistic. But the realistic reality, you really need to change your mental affliction, your negative behavior, the habit you used to do. So therefore, these meditations are, important. It's really helpful. So purpose of this meditation is at least to change your behaviors and your negative minds into more positive. That's the main purpose. And this is according to the lunar calendar. This Sunday is the last, right? Monday is the new year, the lunar. But Tibetan lunar is a little bit different. We celebrate Tuesday, it's the new year. We're not exactly the same, but we still follow lunar, but it's in the Tuesday. But this is a general on the lunar calendar. It's the last day of this year. I think this is snake, right? The next year is a horse. So now the new year arises, some kind of the promise at least. We used to do, what you call New Year commitment. They call resolution or something, right? So they I will going to focus this time to more healthier, to more exercise, eat healthy. Everybody has certain things. But I think the good thing is at least now I will pay more attention to my mind, my behavior. So next year when there comes, I'll really be aware my emotions. I should focus more to understanding value of our inner minds. So becoming more awareness, through that result, I always try to avoid this mental affliction. I used to use that. I used to live with this emotion. I used to follow this destructive emotion. Now, my New Year resolution is I try to stay away with this destructive emotion. I follow more into positive emotion like love, compassion. That kind of resolution is quite, helpful, quite powerful. So these are good to do that way. Okay, thank you.